Old Hollywood dazzled with glamour and glitz, but behind the velvet ropes and camera flashes lurked secrets that could leave anyone stunned. From illicit romances to love triangles that tore families apart, the real drama unfolded far beyond the movie sets. And then there were the same-sex relationships, kept hidden in a time when the truth could end a career. These forbidden affairs didn't just shape lives, they quietly reshaped the entire film industry. Join us as we unveil 10 hidden romances that forever changed old Hollywood, exposing the secrets, the risks, and the stars who dared to break every rule. In 1956, long before Anthony Perkins terrified audiences in Psycho, he found himself swept up in a secret romance with fellow actor Tab Hunter, Hollywood's golden boy with blonde hair, blue eyes, and a carefully constructed image of heterosexual perfection. The two met poolside at the Chateau Marmont, and what began as a casual encounter quickly evolved into a deep but hidden love affair. At the time, being openly gay in Hollywood was career suicide, and both men lived under the suffocating pressure of studio contracts and public expectations. To avoid suspicion, Perkins and Hunter often went on staged double dates with actresses, fooling the tabloids while secretly returning to each other at night. Their getaways, especially to a secluded beach house, offered rare glimpses of freedom in a world that refused to accept them. But despite their affection, the stress of competing careers and mounting pressure drove a wedge between them. The final blow came when Perkins was cast in the film version of Fear Strikes Out, a role Hunter had played on television. The rivalry fractured their bond. Years later, Tab Hunter made one last attempt to reconnect, asking Perkins to star in his production Lust in the Dust. Perkins declined, perhaps too haunted by what they had lost. Ingrid Bergman, once revered as Hollywood's virtuous leading lady, shocked the world when her affair with Italian director Roberto Rossellini shattered her carefully crafted image. Married to Swedish physician Petter Lindström, Bergman had built a career portraying saintly, noble characters in films like Casablanca and Gaslight. But in 1950, while filming Stromboli in Italy, she began a passionate relationship with Rossellini, despite both being married. When news broke that Bergman was pregnant with his child, the backlash was immediate and brutal. American audiences who had idolized her purity felt betrayed. Politicians condemned her. One U.S. senator labeled her a powerful influence for evil. Boycotts followed, theaters banned her films, and the press hounded her relentlessly. Rather than apologize, Bergman fled the country, choosing to build a new life in Europe. She gave birth to their son and later had twin daughters, including future actress Isabella Rossellini. The scandal destroyed her marriage to Lindström and fractured her relationship with her daughter Pia, whom she left behind in America. Though she eventually returned to Hollywood in 1956 and rebuilt her career, the affair with Rossellini permanently marked her public image. What had been a fairy tale Hollywood life transformed into one of exile, controversy, and eventual redemption. Greta Garbo, the enigmatic screen legend of old Hollywood, was known for her haunting beauty and emotional depth. But her private life was far more complex than her on-screen roles suggested. After her high-profile breakup with actor John Gilbert, Garbo formed a deep and intimate connection with Salka Viertel, a married screenwriter and mother of 3. Their bond transcended friendship, with Viertel becoming Garbo's closest confidante and creative partner. It was Salka who suggested Garbo star in Queen Christina, a role that cemented her legacy, and one she co-wrote to help Garbo shine. Their quiet intimacy was soon disrupted by Mercedes de Acosta, a bold and openly gay screenwriter determined to win Garbo's affection. Garbo and Mercedes began an affair after a secluded trip to the High Sierras, but Garbo's emotional loyalty remained with Salka. On her 26th birthday, Garbo seduced Viertel in what Salka later described as harmonious and beautiful. The entanglement between the 3 women grew tense, with Mercedes eventually becoming obsessed, moving near Garbo and following her closely. The final rupture came in 1960, when Mercedes published an autobiography that included a private photo of Garbo without permission. The betrayal ended their bond for good, revealing how secrecy, desire, and obsession shaped Garbo's most intimate relationships. Barbara Stanwyck and Robert Taylor were once hailed as one of Hollywood's golden couples, glamorous, successful, and seemingly perfect. But behind their carefully curated public image lay a relationship many believed was orchestrated more by studio executives than by genuine romance. MGM reportedly arranged their union in the 1930s to enhance both stars' careers and deflect swirling rumors about their personal lives. Stanwyck, celebrated for her fierce independence and commanding screen presence, often faced speculation about her close relationships with women, whispers that were dangerous in an era when anything outside the heterosexual norm was taboo. Robert Taylor, the epitome of the dashing leading man, had his own reputation to protect, with gossip linking him to various actresses. Despite the lack of emotional intimacy, the pair played their roles dutifully in public, attending events, appearing in magazines, and projecting the illusion of domestic bliss. But insiders noted that their connection seemed more like a professional partnership than a romantic marriage. For over a decade, they maintained this facade, avoiding scandal and navigating Hollywood's rigid moral code. In 1951, they quietly divorced, offering no explosive headlines, just the end of a calculated alliance. Their relationship remains one of Hollywood's most enduring mysteries, a union built more on survival than love. Jean Harlow and William Powell's romance was one of old Hollywood's most poignant and heartbreaking love stories, one that unfolded entirely in the shadows. At the height of their careers, Harlow was known as the platinum-haired, blonde bombshell, dazzling audiences with her charisma and beauty, while Powell exuded sophistication and charm. The two fell deeply in love, but fearing the relentless gaze of Hollywood's press and the potential backlash from Powell's 2 prior divorces, they chose to keep their relationship secret from the public. Despite never marrying, Powell treated Harlow with the devotion of a husband, showering her with affection, attention, and thoughtful gifts. Their bond was unmistakable to those closest to them. Tragedy struck in 1937 when Jean Harlow suddenly died from kidney failure at just 26 years old. Powell was reportedly inconsolable. Though he never issued a public statement about their love, his actions spoke volumes. He paid for her crypt and made sure she was buried in a white gown he had gifted her, one of her favorites. Behind his composed exterior, Powell carried that grief silently for the rest of his life. Their love, hidden in life, became a lasting symbol of devotion and heartbreak in death, forever immortalized in old Hollywood lore. Clark Gable and Loretta Young's relationship, long hidden beneath Hollywood's polished facade, concealed one of the darkest secrets of the Golden Age. The two met in 1935 while filming Call of the Wild. Gable, then a married superstar with a reputation for charm and womanizing, and Young, a devout 23-year-old actress known for her wholesome image, shared an off-screen connection that turned into something far more sinister. During a train ride back from filming, Young later revealed that Gable forced himself on her, a traumatic event she kept secret for decades. The encounter left Young pregnant, a potential career-ending scandal for an unmarried actress in a conservative industry. To protect her reputation and livelihood, she vanished from the spotlight until giving birth to her daughter, Judy. In an elaborate cover-up orchestrated with the help of the studio system, Young gave Judy up for adoption and then adopted her back, pretending she was an orphan. Gable, informed of the birth, allegedly tore up the telegram and never publicly acknowledged Judy. He provided no support and kept his distance. The truth didn't come to light until Young's posthumous memoir, which revealed the disturbing reality behind their romance. It remains one of Hollywood's most haunting and tragic cover-ups. Lana Turner, one of Hollywood's most glamorous stars, found herself at the center of a real-life crime drama that shocked the nation. In the 1950s, Turner became romantically involved with Johnny Stompanato, a known mobster and enforcer for Los Angeles crime boss Mickey Cohen. Their relationship was marked by volatility, jealousy, and abuse. Stompanato was possessive and controlling, often threatening Turner and attempting to manipulate her career. Friends and family grew increasingly concerned for her safety as the relationship spiraled into violence. The situation reached a deadly climax on the night of April 4, 1958. During a heated argument at Turner's Beverly Hills home, her 14-year-old daughter, Cheryl Crane, overheard the shouting and feared for her mother's life. Acting in panic and defense, Cheryl grabbed a kitchen knife and stabbed Stompanato in the stomach. He died almost instantly. The murder trial captivated the public. Turner gave an emotional testimony, revealing years of abuse and painting a picture of a woman trapped in a dangerous relationship. The court ultimately ruled the stabbing justifiable homicide, and Cheryl was released. Though legally exonerated, the scandal cast a lasting shadow over Turner's career and public image, turning a Hollywood legend into a tragic tabloid sensation. Debbie Reynolds, Eddie Fischer, and Elizabeth Taylor were once the golden trio of Hollywood, close friends whose lives were intertwined through fame, friendship, and family. Reynolds married singer Eddie Fischer in 1955, and together they had 2 children, including future icon Carrie Fisher. At the same time, Taylor was married to producer Mike Todd, and the 2 couples were often photographed together, sharing vacations and appearing at public events like a tight-knit family. But tragedy struck in 1958 when Mike Todd died in a plane crash. As Taylor grieved, Fisher stepped in for support, only for that support to turn into an affair. Hollywood and the public were stunned. Fisher abandoned Reynolds and their children, and just hours after his divorce was finalized, he married Taylor. The media painted Taylor as a homewrecker, and public sympathy overwhelmingly shifted to Reynolds, the betrayed wife and mother. Taylor later admitted she never truly loved Fisher, saying their connection was rooted in grief, not passion. The marriage between Taylor and Fisher quickly soured, and she moved on to her next scandalous relationship with Richard Burton within a few years. Despite the heartbreak, Reynolds and Taylor eventually reconciled decades later. But their friendship, once admired, had been permanently scarred by betrayal and loss. Cary Grant and Randolph Scott were 2 of the most beloved leading men of Hollywood's golden age, handsome, charming, and wildly successful. But behind their public personas was a private relationship that sparked decades of speculation. The 2 met in the early 1930s and soon became inseparable. Moving into a shared beachfront home in Malibu, they playfully dubbed Bachelor Hall. Photographs from the time show them lounging by the pool, cooking together, and enjoying domestic life, images that felt unusually intimate for 2 unmarried men of the era. While studios worked tirelessly to project a heterosexual image for both stars, rumors swirled about the true nature of their bond. Hollywood's rigid moral code and fear of scandal meant that any suggestion of a same-sex relationship could end their careers. As a result, Grant and Scott publicly dated women, with Grant eventually marrying multiple times, though none of his marriages lasted. Despite years of speculation, neither man confirmed or denied the rumors. Grant famously joked, "I don't think I'll get married again. I'll just find a woman I don't like and give her a house." Whether their relationship was a deep friendship or something more, Bachelor Hall remains one of old Hollywood's most mysterious and quietly revolutionary love stories.